Think less and do more. This is basically the motto of my life, specifically with this video. This is like the 10th take on making this video, so it's just a pure example of me overthinking the content and overthinking what I'm saying. In the mere fact that I'm trying to not try, it's causing me to try. It's this weird dilemma that I'm in. But yeah, I want to think less and do more. Not because there's no value in thinking. There is value in thinking. And our brain will rationalize, though, why it's overvalued. It will, even with the comment, you should think less and do more, the brain is going to go, no, thinking is important. And it is important. I'm not saying it's not. It's just there's a bias in society as well as our biology that favors control and understanding of the world around us. Society being like Western culture mostly, whereas Eastern culture is a little bit more on the passive side where they kind of understand flow, intuition, all that stuff, inclination, whereas Westerners tend to want to control, they favor science-related approaches. So just understanding the bias and going the opposite direction a little bit will even it out so you sit in the middle, you're more balanced. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Specifically with this video as well as this entire brand. It's just really just putting out random thoughts like this. They might be rambly. They might not get as good as engagement as they could get, but long term, I think it will be a practice in and of itself. I'll even leave that in. I'll leave the mistake in there. It'll be a practice in and of itself because it's an emotional labor. There's a part of you that like fears it. There's a part that fears not having that control and putting this out there with like zero design to it, thinking that it's not going to work. It probably won't. It probably won't. But you can do a lot more of it and you're not expending your energy. It's a lot easier to do. And you can at least build the habit of doing it. Whereas like when I overthink things, I try to design content. I have a different channel. I try to design all that content and I think it and it will cause me to procrastinate a lot more. And I've been thinking about growth, and I really think like the growth of humans, the growth of an individual is less consciously designed as we think it is. You look back on your life on some of like the pivotal moments. For me, like I think of all the profound experiences that I had, they were just happenstance. Like think for yourself, have you ever created a habit consciously? Have you sat down and said, I created a habit, I'm creating this? I haven't personally, I'm not saying you haven't. You might say, yes you did, put it in the comments if you have. That's awesome. At least someone can prove that they have. But I've asked people this and it doesn't seem like people have an answer to it. And when you look back on your life, you might realize that a lot of events that you thought were consciously designed weren't really, they were just the effect of a cause. Effect of a cause 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 to infinity and beyond. So yeah, the concept is not to live totally unthinking. You must think in some way, but to not design as much as a way to go and lean into your fear. I guess fear is a good example of where you're afraid to go, right? So if your brain is imbalanced, where you feel most comfortable is probably the thing that you're biased towards, and where you feel fear is probably the direction that you want to lean into a little bit. And that's been the case for me. So I don't know if this is going on YouTube or an ad, but like it's probably a different ad. You've probably never seen something like this, so that's a good thing. So yeah, less thinking, more progress, more doing. Just do. Increase your bump rate of events. The more you do, the more things you're going to bump into. A bunch of random spontaneous events are going to happen. You're going to have all these profound experiences. You'll also have negative experiences, but those negatives are generally, they're positive long term. A lot of them, as long as they're not life-threatening or game ending. That's where thinking comes in. Just make sure you're not making all these tragic mistakes, stupid mistakes that could end your life or end the game that you're playing. But as long as it doesn't really matter, if you're doing like business stuff and you have money, like just go lose your money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just the more you fail, the more you act, and the more you trip, the better. So there's this emotional hang up, some emotional resistance to doing that. Even with this video, like I was not ready to make this video. I had no concise thing. I had nothing to talk about. I just picked it up and said, all right, it's time to do it. It's Sunday. Time to make a video. I don't know if it's going to blow up. I don't know if it's going to be useful, but maybe someone will like it. All right. That's my PSA. Cheers, guys.